Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games for the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the commander of this episode, Andrew. With me, my buddy, Keith.
Hello.
And our test subject, Liz.
Hey guys.
This week, Liz really wanted to join. Hopefully her audio is picked up. It looks like it's all good here. But Liz really wanted to join this episode. This week we decided to play Outer Worlds 2 by Obsidian Games. This is now the third Obsidian game we have reviewed this year. Obsidian's just been killing it. So Outer Worlds 2 is obviously a sequel to the first Outer Worlds. And in already starting off, if you're asking, do I need to play the first Outer Worlds to understand this game? The answer is no. Because this game takes place like 15 years after the events of the first one. They're not really tied to each other at all. They're in kind of different parts of the galaxy. But obviously it's the same universe, same type of studio and game. So it's still a sequel, but not like a story sequel. But yeah, you are playing a commander of the Earth Directorate, a organization that goes around and basically helps planets and citizens that are being oppressed by either capitalism or evil governments, and you go around and trying to help the citizens of the universe. But let's go around of whether or not this is a game or a pass. Quick reminder, please make sure you go to GamePassGrabBag.com. Check out our website. Top right corner, you will find our link to our Discord and our YouTube. Come join us. I've been streaming more on our YouTube. I actually streamed out at my beginning of Outer Worlds 2. So if you want to see that, check that out. But yes, whether or not Outer Worlds 2 is a game or a pass, for me, this is a game. I remember playing the first one. I found the first one to be pretty forgettable. I don't really remember too much of it. I remember some things. But yeah, as soon as I started playing this, I'm like, you know what? This feels really good. The only thing I really remember about the first Outer Worlds is that there was a ton of load times. It was before the series consoles came out, so it was before the SSD hard drives that loaded super fast. And I remember when the consoles were coming out, I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait, and I'll pick up Outer Worlds when those hard drives come out, and I don't have to sit through all these loading screens. But I never did. I never beat the first Outer Worlds. I got far, but never beat it. But this one is a ton of fun. There's a ton of improvements. The writing in it actually had me chuckling quite a bit. But I have some complaints. But overall, this is a fun game.
Yeah, I did not go back and check.
Your mic.
What?
You're recording off of your camera.
Oh, it was let me. I have to leave and rejoin then because it won't let me switch.
All right, solid
Hold
start.
on.
Well, Liz, you might as well go.
For me, I'm actually really surprised. I'm gonna give it a game, but I just wasn't as interested. And part of it is, this week and a half, been sick. I've been tired. I've been having trouble like concentrating on things, but I just didn't find the story as interesting or the characters. And I thought like with picking the different characteristics and stuff, like my character was witty and dumb, and I thought that the characters' responses were funny, but the people talking back to me were not funny at all. So I felt like it was very hit and miss for me. I remember loving the first one. In fact, I gave it a definite game, and I gave it the first one a score of a 91. Keith was 75, and you were 88. So I was really gung-ho about it. So I don't know if it was just like, being under the weather or what, but it just didn't connect with me. I still had fun. There's looting and shooting and different weapons and all the things that I like. But I definitely think I'm gonna give it another chance. But it's a game.
So now that I'm back and I think my mic is working appropriately.
Yep.
Sounds
I appreciate that Liz went back and checked this because, as is most cases, I did not go back and look at what I did. I did remember, though, that I didn't like the first one. And so when the second one was announced, it was kind of like a cool new Outer Worlds. We'll probably play that. And didn't really have much to expect out of it. It looked good from the trailers, but the first one, it looked good from the trailers, and it disappointed me. the one thing, and Andrew had pointed out, that I remembered from the first one, and I was so ready to be angry about, was the load times. And not just the load times, because you can give me a short load time, 5 seconds, and that's fantastic, or next to no load time if it kind of, has even just a second of load screen. The frequency in which the Outer Worlds one had load times was what killed me. It was every time you went inside of a building, left building, you realize, I forgot to go buy something in that shop. I have to go back inside there, redo the 20-second, 60-second load screen, whatever it was. That drove me nuts. Outer Worlds 2 fixed that entirely. The game it's weirdly not actually open world when you kind of look at the map, but it's more or less open. Everything is, the shops are in the open, everything, no doors. And any doors you go in, there's very few where it's like transition to this area and, quick 10-second load and you're good. But that's not all that frequent. So the gameplay is a lot of fun. I was enjoying it. Whether or not I don't want to say I didn't care for the story. I was just kind of like following along with it. It wasn't anything that overly hooked me. It was good enough. But I agree with Andrew. The writing in it was really on point. I loved the dialogue choices. I love how that aspect of the gameplay, kind of goes out, and we'll get to that more. But I'm just really a big fan overall of really just about everything. I'm sure there'll be some things that as you talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the thing I didn't like. But yeah, I think I'm at the very least, I'm bordering on a definite game for it, I think.
Wow.
I don't know if I am fully, but
you're talking about a lot of it in the Discord. I was surprised.
Yeah, I probably didn't get as far as you'd think I did based on all that. But all said, it's great, and I actually really am enjoying it.
All right. Well, the story of Outer Worlds 2, as I said, the first one, I vaguely remember. I remember you were part of like a colony ship, and your pod, like you get pulled out, but your other members are still in the ship and you're trying to find the ship. I'm pretty sure that was the plot of the first one. So in this one, as I said, you're playing as someone who's the Earth Directorate, which, like I said, is like a police force of the galaxy that goes around. So you are on a mission to a system. I don't know the name of the system. I guess it's irrelevant. You are trying to find the technology behind slipstreams, which is this technology that lets you kind of jump between different planets and galaxies. But the issue with the slipstreams is that it's causing rifts. It's literally tearing the fabric of time open. And obviously, that's not good for the environment. So you were trying to figure out, why is it doing this? So you had a person on the inside to try to figure out and get a hold of this technology. Things go terribly wrong as that happens in games, and you are on a path to figure out how to fix rifts and also uncover a conspiracy behind this whole monk organization that thinks they solved the universe via math, which everyone knows math is evil, so clearly this group has to be evil. But the story, though, Outer Worlds 2, I gotta say, I did like it. It seemed interesting. This is always kind of the thing of, like, a lot of these RPG, there's a bad guy and you're chasing them. And that's this game, too. So on that front, it really wasn't anything like, oh, this is new and unique. Like, that is always the thing. There needs to be, you're chasing someone or something, and that explains your globe-trotting adventure as to why you're going to different locales and blah, blah, blah. So I already, I gotta say, with the story, not crazy original, but as I said, I thought the writing in it was cheeky and funny, and I was really enjoying it.
Well, I think, too, that whether or not the story is good, I don't think there's, like, deep emotional relationships that you're building with the side characters, but there really is still some elements of that relationship building, and the characters themselves that get built, I think, are just really interesting individually. Whether or not they play into the story altogether is a different thing. I think they are fun and interesting, though.
Liz had a step away because one of her
Ellie,
characters woke up for a second. No, not Ellie. I think it was Piper. Yeah, the kids are sick.
Oh.
There she is. Close the door. But anyway, Liz, what'd you think of the story?
I just couldn't get into it. I felt like most of the people that I was meeting, I had to choose between, but they're all kind of crappy. And
When you mean like the companions, or
no, like when you're out doing different missions, like you have to choose between this person or this person, and then you pick one, and it's like, okay, well now you need to either do it this way or this way, but you have to screw somebody over. But I just really wasn't getting invested in any of the characters. Even Niles, like I feel like was just kind of bland. So far, I didn't get as far as you. But for me, like character is a big thing for me, and I just thought like with all the stuff, the traits and stuff at the beginning, I thought it was gonna be more funny, have more funny characters. But also like what is up with what is it, Auntie something?
Auntie's Choice?
Is that throughout the whole game?
Yeah,
They're like the
they're an
big bag-
organization.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember in the first game, there was Auntie Cleo, and then there was another company called Spacer's Choice. So like I said, this takes place about like 15 years in the future, and there was a corporate takeover, and that's why they're called now Auntie's Choice. They got combined into one evil corporation.
I don't remember any of the first one. I like gave it a definite game, and I don't remember any of the story. But the crazy thing is like with the what do they call it? Refreshment?
Yeah, the
Is that
other
what it's called?
Mental
organization.
refreshment.
Yeah,
Mental refreshment.
Mental refreshment.
That's the Protectorate.
Yep, the
Right.
Protectorate group.
See, I was getting confused with that. I was like, is that Auntie's or is that the other one? So things were just kind of melding together.
See, even though I'm not crazy about the main story, I love this world building. Like, obviously, there's evil corporations, evil governments. Starting off at the game, you're dealing with the Protectorate, as Liz was kind of saying, and they're a very militaristic, authoritarian kind of government that very much believes in kind of like almost communism. Everyone, do your part, and if your neighbor's not doing it, report them, and they get put into mental refreshment, which is just brainwashing. And it's all about basically working together for the greater good, for the greater of the community, and for the sovereigns, which are these elitist people that basically run the Protectorate. But yeah, and then you have the evil company. Well, everything in this game is evil. Like, that's the other thing I kind of liked. Nothing was like, oh, these are the good guys. I guess maybe the Earth Protectorate people that you're working for are supposed to be the good guys. But I at least loved that everything was kind of gray.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, and I really liked this world building. I liked kind of these evil corporations. Because I remember with our Avowed episode, I very much started off where it was like, I am going to play my character as a run and gun shooter. And like basically just, if there was a shoot option, I am going to do that. I don't care if it's like a school full of children. If it gives me the option to shoot, that's part of the story. It's like, I guess I'm doing this option. So I really much, because anytime I play an RPG, it is always that thing of, oh, what's my morality? What am I going to do in this universe? Like, clearly, these are children. I'm going to help the children. These are hostages. I'm going to help the hostages. So I've been trying to play these games in a different way of like, I am going to focus as this character and play as this character. And it's kind of interesting with the Outer Worlds too. As I said, everything's kind of gray. Everyone's their own kind of version of evil or authoritarian or repressive government kind of thing. So it's very much like you got to have fun with it, and that's what I was doing. So my goal for playing this game, I was trying to play as Zap Brannigan from Futurama. What would he do in this situation? And it made for, I got to say, a more fun experience, because there was a handful of times where there were hostages, and it was very much like, save these hostages. It's a very simple puzzle, or chase the bad guy. And it's like, well, what's that Brannigan do? Well, he would probably chase the bad guy. He would probably just ignore the hostages and hope they figure it out. And it to me made it before kind of a fun experience.
Yeah, you kind of inspired me to. I wasn't as into it as you were, but to just kind of go with like the funny option. I didn't do the shoot whenever it came up, but I definitely felt like I had more fun playing it that way.
What did you guys pick for your characters, like for traits and stuff?
Oh my gosh, it was embarrassing. Do you remember I was picking my character and I thought that you were telling me to be a lawyer, and it was actually like the police. You're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you're always wanting to do like the what was it, the law
It was
something?
Lawman or something
And
like
I was
that.
like, why does he want me to be a lawyer?
Oh.
I guess like I like lawyers. I
It-
don't know. And then I was like, no, no, I don't even know one. I never even met one. And so I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. So I was like, I'll do it. And I made him witty and dumb, and or her, I guess.
Yeah, because
And
you love Chuck Norris, so it's like, oh, why don't you be like Walker Texas Ranger? Be the lawman, be the sheriff of the universe.
but I just kept hearing lawyer. So, but yeah, but then I finally figured out like what my character was, and because I saw the symbol and like I was like, oh, do you know what? I actually like what I picked.
What did you pick, Keith?
So I think Andrew, you and I picked pretty much the same beginning at least. So I went
Yeah,
with the
unfortunately.
roustabout. Yeah, and it's so dumb too because like it was one of those things I was like, I bet Andrew's gonna do this, and I kind of want to do something different, but I was like, that just seems like the most interesting. I didn't fully role play my character out, the way that you did, but I did generally try to lean into that roustabout theme. So anytime it gave me an opportunity to use that in dialogue, I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know what I'm doing or whatever it was." Kind of tried to always play just a little bit of the like, I don't care. I'm just here to do what I'm doing type of thing.
Yeah, I did the rustabout, which is it. Literally, the description is like, yeah, you were kind of in the right place, right time, and you actually shot somebody. Happens to be a supervillain, and now here you are. You're part of the Earth Directorate because you
She
shot like
describes
the
it
right
as
person.
right place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be like just someone who's just like, yeah, I just wanted a job and this was a job, and you ended up accidentally being really good at it because you killed the right person by
Yeah.
mistake.
And so to me, I'm like, oh, that's a perfect description. Zach Brannigan. Okay, I'm doing that. I really wanted to pick for one of my traits. So obviously they have things like, oh, do you want to be witty? Do you want to be inventive? Hold on, I have the list here. Yeah, do you want to be suave, resilient, witty, sneaky? And so I was like, I very much was like, okay. I knew there was also some negative traits. And I remember seeing and hearing on like reviews of like, oh yeah, you could be dumb. There is a negative trait where you're dumb and it could play out as to how you want to do it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Apparently you have to pick 2 positive traits to get a negative trait, which is the dumb one, which Liz did. And I was very disappointed I didn't do that. But I ended up picking lucky because sure enough, it was just like, everything, sometimes things just work out for you. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that, which also ended up being very fun. But watching Liz play through of her choices for dumb were super funny. I always loved Liz's dialogue choices for the dumb. But yeah, there's also a bunch of like hidden flaws you can get. I loved this game. To me, felt very open on like how you can solve puzzles and what you're doing, because there is a ton of specialties. There's a ton of backgrounds, things you could pick, and I felt like they were popping up a lot. Anytime I was going to an area, it's like, oh, over here's a locked door. If you have strength, you can open it. Engineering, you can open it. Lockpicking, you can open it. But if you don't have any of that, maybe there's something over in the corner where you could do like an explosive or something with your melee. I loved the choices in this game.
Yeah, I felt like mine popped up quite a bit, like especially like observation. I remember I was like walking around seeing that symbol, and I was like, oh, I wonder why that's there. And then like a mine went off, and I was like, oh, I'm in a minefield. And I looked around, and I was surrounded by them. So yeah, I really like that too.
I liked the trait system a lot. It kind of felt a little like Dungeons and Dragons. Like I've never played it fully. The idea that like everything was just like a bunch of or a series of skill checks around the game, and like you said, Andrew, you could use any number of them. Lucky was one I picked as well because we picked this. It would just be randomly something that'd be like, hey, you can use this, and if I'm at least in any case I used it, it was always successful, which I think was the intention of it. I don't think it was ever supposed to fail when it was able to be used.
Yeah.
But it would just be like, like one of them, it got used for making a health potion, I think, or something like that. And it was like, you walk over and throw a bunch of random chemicals and hope for the best. It's like, sweet.
Congratulations, you made medicine. I was like, all right.
Yeah, so like even though you couldn't guarantee that it was going to be available for something, it was a way to, maybe hack something you're not supposed to hack, engineer something you can't, et cetera, et cetera. So I really liked the lucky one, but overall, I wasn't going to, but pretty early on, I was like, I don't know, this is just fun. So you had already said you were doing it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take every flaw that comes my way. Just I'm just going to do
Man,
it.
Keith,
And
you just copied everything I did. Way to be
I know,
original.
that was an intentional copy. The other ones were unintentional. But even despite that, I still think it's interesting that we play this game differently, and we can even get to that. But I loved that storytelling aspect of it, because realistically, there's a very early moment where you run into somebody who you can choose to basically try to persuade into letting you go past. They get into a fight. Andrew chose, screw you, I'm gonna try to fight you. I tried to talk my way through, ended up helping him, and came back later up in the game that we like worked together. But I'm guessing he didn't for you, because
No, he came back in the game because I couldn't shoot him at that time.
oh,
But
that's right, you
later
said
on,
that.
I met him, and sure enough, it had a shoot option. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm shooting him.
Well, I went ahead and told him that I helped him despite the fact that he didn't help me, and then he felt really bad and he helped me the second time. But I like that. Like, despite that we have the same traits, we're still playing a very different game.
Yeah, same with like I went in with just shooting, but I thought it was really interesting that you could actually go do like a stealthy route, which of course I did not do. But did you do the same, Andrew?
No, well, I ended up doing the stealthy route because, as Keith said, I was very much, I'm going to accept all flaws. I was like, because once again, that's very Zap Brannigan. The dude's a big bumbling idiot that just really isn't good at his job. So I was like, all right, he's going to be very flawed. And so, yeah, sure enough, I got like bad knees. So every time I'm crouching, it's creaking and it can alert people. I have one where it's treasonous because I kept betraying people because I kept trying to choose like kind of the bad option. And so like I was getting the flaws have a obviously very negative part to them, but a very positive thing as well. So with the bad knees, every time I'm crouching, it's creaking and people can hear me and detect me, but I crouch faster. The treasonous one let me, what was the negative part on it? I think the negative part is like when I'm discovered, I think I did less damage, but I did extra damage when I was stealth. It was something along those lines. So the flaws I was getting was making me be like, well, I guess I gotta go kind of silent and sneaky. And, so I ended up kind of doing that. But I, of course, was just shooting everybody I could see. One of the hardest flaws I just recently got was kleptomania. So if you keep stealing things, eventually your character becomes a klepto and will just randomly grab things. So even if people are watching me, I will sometimes just grab something off the counter and people are starting to hate me. But also it works for one of my perks. I have a perk where I do extra damage to factions that hate me. And people are starting to quickly hate me because I keep stealing stuff.
I can't believe you finally got that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's not very awesome. I did get a flaw too, where it was like, oh, if you accept this, you have to accept all flaws going forward. And it said, warning, not recommended for first time playthrough. And I was like, well, I already said I'm accepting all flaws, so I'm accepting this one. So yeah, I didn't have a choice. I had to take kleptomania.
Well, it's funny because
Well-
the video that's playing right now, that's what the only guy that I try to shoot and it wouldn't let me.
Oh, because I think I told you. I was like, try shooting him, Liz.
Yeah, because he was kind of a turd.
Yeah, that guy made me mad because I tricked him when I first talked to him, and then I failed at that. So then I was mad. So I tried to sweet talk him again. Didn't work. He called out Mex on me. He's just kind of a turd.
See, this
But-
is
But I kept trying. I just kept trying.
this interaction. I like this guy. To me, was super funny because he was like,
Oh, he was funny, but he was a turd.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, you need to be mentally refreshed. And I was like, okay, let me report myself to an arbiter, one of the higher ups. He's like, well, in order to do that, I got to lower the bridge. But if I lower the bridge, I'm also breaking orders. So do I need to let you do your thing so you can report yourself, or do I break orders? And so like I made him basically go in a loop, and he's just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to call security. This is what I mean. The writing in this game actually, like, it kept making me chuckle. I actually thought it was very funny. I do agree, Liz, with you when you said like the story wasn't crazy hooking me, but I at least loved the choices that were going on. Oh, and I wanted to ask you guys, a lot of people are complaining about this dialogue. They call it obviously like the Bethesda style of the game kind of freezes, the camera zooms in on the person you're talking to and you're selecting boxes, and it's kind of rigid. It never really bothers me that much.
I like it.
Yeah, to me, I actually felt like it flowed very well. I felt like the characters actually showed a good amount of emotion. And to me, it was just the writing itself was very funny. That I don't know. I know a lot of people want more of a dynamic, fluid conversations, but it doesn't bother me. Has it bothered you guys at all?
I think it's one of those just weird things that people it's like a weird hill that people die on. And I
Yeah.
don't really ever understand why. Like I can see the argument. I will say like you know, to your point, it's a little bit rigid, it's a little bit, you know, I don't know. It's just flat. But how do you want to do that in a game like this with this dynamic of a dialogue with 5 varying options that can be 4 options or 2 options because of whatever your stats are, like all these different factors play into it. I can't be doing that while I'm walking around trying to collect things. I mean, can I? Sure, but that's not fun. Like, it needs to be in this format. So what do people want? Because take that out of it then, and then this game, the gameplay is fun. But truthfully, the dialogue is the most fun for me. I truthfully was enjoying going around and just finding people to interact with and being like, what are the fun different dialogue options I can choose and how I can like try and manipulate these conversations differently. That was my favorite part of it. So I don't know. It's a weird argument.
I found it helpful because I never remember people's names. And so I'll be like, oh, go back to this person. When you talk to someone that you don't have like the dialogue with, they still say something, but it doesn't zoom in and the choices don't come up and stuff. So I immediately know like, oh, well, it's not that guy.
You can tell, yeah, they're unimportant.
Yeah. So for
The
me,
game
like,
doesn't
I find
stop.
it very helpful. I'm like, because it pans it on their faces. I'm like, I remember he had a beard. Definitely not that guy. And, which obviously, so not to jump ahead, but the reason why this was so helpful is because for some reason my back button wouldn't work. And I told Andrew, I was like, I don't know why, like the inventory, the journal, all that stuff will not come up. Because if you hold it, it changes the view. So I tried holding it. I'm like, well, that doesn't do it. So I was like, do you know what? Something's wrong with my controller. So I switched controllers. Still wouldn't do it. So then I restarted the Xbox. No, fully exited out of the game. Restarted the Xbox, tried everything. Andrew comes home the next morning. He's like, oh, it's working fine. And then he goes to work. Kids are in bed. I'm like, oh, I'm going to play for the podcast. I'm going to be productive. Well, it stopped working again. Or it worked like
How convenient.
50% of the time. So like as the night went on, like it would work more, but there'd still be like whole chunks of time where I can't like switch the mission or like even look at them. I can't do anything with my inventory. So and then say with like you can't fast travel. So it's like, oh, it's like 1,000 meters away or whatever the thing is. And I'm like, this sucks. And I mean, it has to be a bug because you tried it with the controller. I tried it 2 or 3 controllers. I restarted everything, and every single time I play for more than 20 minutes, it happens. And I'm like, well, I can't look at the journal. Where's the journal? Like, I feel like the way that it was set up with the missions, like, I feel like I didn't like it. I kept getting kind of confused about like where I was at because the side quest would be part of the main mission, but there'd be like 3 similar ones.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. When you pick like a mission, there's sometimes like little blips. It's like these are your objectives for it. Even when you complete it, like a blip is either like hollow or filled in if you've completed it. But anytime I pulled it up, it lists all of them. And even like, so the TV you were playing on, Liz, is kind of far away. I had a hard time seeing. I'm like, did you complete those tasks? I can't really tell.
Well,
But-
yeah, they were like they weren't filled in when they were completed, which is the opposite. So that's why I was getting confused. And then one time I came back to the game I had died, and I went back to the the last save point, and it said that I hadn't completed the missions, but I had something that I got from completing the missions. So I'm like, do I have to redo it? Like I don't know. It was not working for me.
I mean, I will say, it's funny. Liz, clearly, it's been a while since she's played video games.
Oh my God,
I
you're
wish-
going to tell
yes.
me. Yeah.
Because they're super funny. Like, I wish, I need to get Liz to stream or record her stuff. Liz was sneaking around, and I was watching her, and she zooms down on her gun, and she's like, I'm going to shoot this guy. And she's like, why can't I shoot? I'm not shooting. And I was like, what are you
It was
talking
the
about?
wrong button.
Liz was hitting X to shoot and not right trigger. She
I'd
completely
been-
forgot how to shoot.
I'd been shooting like earlier in the game.
So you-
Like that's
just
why
that
I
moment.
don't know what happened. I've been sick this week and very tired. I'm gonna blame that. But also it was quite embarrassing and I was
Oh,
like, Andrew,
so
what
funny,
button it
though.
is?
It was so funny though.
My Xbox app hasn't been working because I did get some panic shooting videos, which I always love when I record them because I look back and I'm just like, and immediately Andrew's like, you hit him right in the nuts.
Yeah. That's always her favorite spot to shoot people in.
That's where I panic shoot. Andrew's like, please
mean,
never
that
get a gun.
Yeah, Keith, do you know the URL to like look up your Xbox clips?
Yeah, it's xboxreplay.net. At least that's one that works. I was looking at some of my screenshots right now. They won't actually like pull up on a full screen, but I can see the small versions of them. But I think that's just me for some reason.
But yeah, I want to talk to you guys. So with the sequel, I gotta say, did you notice a big improvement with the gunplay? Do you even remember?
I don't remember. There's certain things I remember for the first game, and that's like the art and then the looting. But with this game, I loved switching around with the different weapons. I even started putting like modifiers on my armor and stuff. I just figured it out on my own. Really proud of that. But I was just fiddling around with the weapons, with the crafting, and all that kind of stuff. And I loved it in this game. Was it similar?
It's drastically improved. I remember the gunplay in this game is way more fluid. I was enjoying anytime I was getting in firefights, it felt so much smoother. This game now has a lot more gadgets, so you can slow down time. You have like X-ray vision. You can put up a shield. When you're in combat, obviously you have energy, and it takes a longer time to recharge. But it just felt so much more fluid and so much better as a first-person shooter, or a third-person shooter. I forgot to mention that. Did you figure out how to get to third-person mode, Keith?
I did, and I played with it. I don't know, maybe probably for like 15 minutes. Not very long. I preferred the first person view
Yeah,
on
me
it,
too.
but it was kind of cool to have. Did the first one have companions?
Yes.
It did. Okay. I don't.
Yeah, and there was only like one that was really kind of worth your time.
I honestly might not have even gotten far enough to get any of the companions in the first one. That's part of it. I'm like, I don't remember the gunplay that much. I just remembered not enjoying it at all, and so maybe even that's a little bit of why I'm so like, wow, this is great, because I just thought I was gonna be. I didn't think I was gonna hate this one as much as I didn't think I was gonna hate this one overall, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did.
Well, you mentioned the companions. What did you guys think of the companions in this game?
They're fine.
I wasn't crazy
I-
about them.
I had Val the whole time, at least. I got Niles and Nara. Is that her name? The one with the mini arm. Inez, and maybe is it Azara? Is that the last, or not the last one, but the one she was with the
Aza
cult.
or Asia.
Yeah, which I assume at some point she doesn't have the mask on, but I thought.
Yeah,
it was
whenever you're in your
interesting-
ship, she has the mask off.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say I thought it was interesting that right away. I was like, well, I see her face there in the little mini icon when she was there, but she was the one I actually ended up liking the most with Val and as like an actual combat companion.
I didn't get most of them. Like I said earlier, I like the robot, but right now I'm hanging out with Niles, and it's kind of bland. But I like his character. Like that's why I'm disappointed. Where I'm like, I feel like they just could have done a bit more with the characters.
Yeah, to me, I will say I think the companions are kind of the weakest writing of the game. Like, first of all, I remember they did it in Avowed, but I don't think you can romance any of them. And it's like, well, if I can't have sex with my companion, what's the point? Like, why even learn about them?
There is at least an option where you can like your dialogue options can be flirtatious. I can't remember what the trait was that I saw, but
Yeah, but I don't
There's
think there's any
something.
romance. I remember they did it in Avowed. But, like, to me, it also seemed just odd how a lot of them joined you. Like, a lot of it seemed just very heavy-handed of, like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'll join you. And it's just like, okay. Like, it just didn't feel as earned. Like, I
mean,
need to
Inez
build this
quits her job.
team. What do you say?
Inez quits her job.
She was the only one that I felt like kind of made sense. You know, you were helping her in a situation. Yeah, she lost her job, but she's like, I need to kind of redeem myself. I need to follow you. I want to follow you. It's like, okay. But yeah, like, Aza was very much just like, yeah, I want to kill people. I'll join you. I got all the
But she's
opinions.
kind of betrayed by her whole cult there. So she's
Yeah.
kind of left out of that and likes killing, so that makes sense.
But it's like,
Ish.
I don't know. If you're a psychotic killer like that, wouldn't you actually prefer to be by yourself and hunt people down? Because that's the thing of like, she's like, I'll join you, but we
Part of
better
the
do
cult.
this thing. And it's like,
Likes
well,
to
if
be
that's
part-
if you really want to do that and guarantee you're doing it, just do it yourself. I don't know.
Being part of a cult, likes being part of a group.
I don't know. I just felt like a lot of them were kind of obviously the only one that made sense mostly was Niles, because he's with you at the beginning, and it's just like, okay, you know, his story is tied with yours. He's the one I actually kind of liked because he's like a rookie, and at the beginning you kind of, you know, mold him a little bit. Which also too, it kept saying whenever I was doing dialogue choices, I always knew it was going to be companion because it said they will remember that. So it's like, okay, they're going to be joining me. But what was the point of them remembering things? I felt like they never brought it up. I never felt like they were like, well, you told me that I should shoot everybody. Like, nobody ever said any of that.
There was at least one time at the very beginning with Niles, actually. He
At the
asked
beginning,
you
I
for
felt like.
advice, and in like the very first sequence, did he lose his? Well, he would have lost his arm no matter what, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think
think
there's
it
any
was-
way to avoid him losing an
Because
arm or leg.
because at the very least, like I know that it all came down to, like, he references it. Somebody's like, hey, you said when I first asked you, like, ask, you know, he references the advice you gave him, and then you answer based on that. And so like there was, but that's honestly the only time I can remember, and that's the first mission, and then it's not again.
Yeah. What'd you think of the companions, Liz? Did you even did you care? Did you try talking to him?
No, not really. Like when I was in the middle of a mission, I didn't really stop to chat with them. I didn't get it as many as you guys. I didn't get it as far. I definitely, you know me. All those little side quests and like little missions. You know, it took me a long time to get where I am. Also, looting every corner.
Oh, the loot. I bet you love the loot in this game.
Do you know what? I loved it, but at the same time, I don't want to say there was too much of it, but
Wow.
sometimes I wasn't even looking.
That's
and
shocking
that's when I
coming
was
from
like,
you.
kind of like, well, it's kind of a bummer. I'm not even like looking at what it is, you know? Yeah. But I would rather have too much loot.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about this with Outer Worlds 2, there is no over-encumbrance. So you can grab everything. That's how I ended up obviously getting kleptomania, because I'm like, I'm just going to snatch everything I can. But man, there's no over-encumbrance, so I have like 100 guns, 100 pieces of armor. I will say, I like the equipment in this game. You have your guns, which normally you can carry 2, but you can upgrade to get 3 or 4, depending on what gear you're wearing. You have just body suit and helmet. Helmet does not do anything for defense. Helmet literally is just kind of like a perk, which is awesome. So a lot of helmets, you could get a helmet at the very beginning of the game and literally carry that thing through the entire game, because it's all about the perk and how you want to play. So obviously some helmets reduce toxicity. Some helmets improve your weak spot damage. Some improve your sneak. Some improve your speech. Something like that. That's all it is, though. It's just like a perk. So you're literally just picking your armor. What do you want for armor? Do you want light, medium, or heavy? Light, you have a higher chance of evasion. So if you get hit, there's a chance that damage will do nothing. So it's really good for like those slow shooting heavy bosses, which you can change your armor on the fly. And like I said, there's no over encumbrance, so carry all of the armor. So if you're going against a boss that is just shooting one bullet at a time, yeah, you probably want a higher rate of evasion. But if you're going against a boss that is shooting 1 billion bullets, maybe you want to go heavy armor, something that just mitigates damage. Yeah, really cool. I've loved that this game didn't feel like it was holding me back and really let me pick how I want to do things.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting with the way that I was playing it. Maybe I wasn't observant at finding ammo, but I felt like I would like
Yeah.
I'd say like 80% of what I was finding was food. And then at one point it said you do not have enough ammo for this mission. And I was thinking back to when I first
Really?
landed after the tutorial. Yeah, when I first landed after the tutorial where like Niles meets his buddy like later on. Um I saw this monster. I'm like, I'm gonna go fight this monster, and I start like battling all these like reptiles, and I'm in a cave, and I've completely run out of bullets, and I'm like, So then I'm like traveling to town, and there's robots shooting at me, and my companions are taking over because I have zero bullets, and then I go to a crafting area. I'm like, I can't craft them yet. I don't have the materials because the game just started. So I felt like sometimes I didn't. I just got to the point where I have a lot of ammo. But at one point you were watching me and you said, Liz, why don't you have a lot of ammo? And I was like, forgot that I should check to see if I can craft them yet. But yeah, I felt like I had everything but the essentials, but I
Yeah.
also wasn't paying attention.
There was a couple times I ran out of bullets too. Nothing too bad like that, Liz, but I would run out of ammo on like my favorite guns.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like Survivor s- bullet deficiencies, but it's not handing you bullets all of the time. Once you can craft them, you can generally craft enough. But like Andrew said, if you kind of find a couple guns that you really like and you just always use those, and it's like, well, burn it through ammo like crazy there. So I Liz said something though that I think is interesting because it counters what Andrew said, and I think I agree with both. So I love the fact that there's no over encumbrance. That I can just pick everything up. It doesn't matter. But and I think this is kind of how I took what you were saying, Liz, is it kind of just makes everything meaningless. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll just pick it all up and worry about it later because I know most of it is junk that I can just immediately go into a crafting station, one button, clear it out. I don't even have to filter for it, look at it. Some junk isn't valuable. It's all just junk is junk. And and then beyond that, it's like, well, I've picked up 12 of this burst fire rifle. I know I don't need that. Let me just junk a bunch of those. It didn't make it feel like a job, but it felt like a chore a little bit. So I there is something special about having that limited space that makes you go, do I need to pick this up? Do I want this? And it makes that loot feel special when you're finding it versus like I'm just a loot vacuum.
I 100% agree. That's exactly what I meant to say.
That's so weird. I feel like every game, Liz, that you play, you're like, I love to loot. I want to pick up all the things. And you would get
But
mad when you're over encumbered. And now you have a game where you don't get over encumbered and you're like, nah, I don't want to loot anymore.
but
But
in
for as
most
much
games
of
like
a looter as this game is, and maybe I haven't fully got to this point, there isn't a ton of varieties of loot. Like yeah, there's a lot of helmets. There's a decent amount of things, and you get variations of them, but they're really just things that ultimately you're going to be able to put on guns at your own. There are some uniques, and those are cool, but I I it wasn't like a Borderlands where I'm like, oh man, I wish I could pick up every single one of these guns because everything's cool and I want to try everything. It's just like, oh, I can't pick up 17 burst fire rifles. I can only carry 16 because if I do that, then I can't carry this pack of berries as well. It's like I almost want to have that choice, but I also like not having to worry about it too. So I'm in the middle and I can see it both ways.
Yeah, it's a
I
double-edged
just wanted to
sword.
point that out.
But anyway, I guess, move it along a little bit because I have a feeling one of my kids will wake up. Graphics. I gotta say, I like this game's graphics. I thought the character models looked great. The environments were very cool looking. Uh, you go into very unique alien planets. I enjoyed this game's graphics. I thought it looked like a nice game.
I saw people complaining about it online.
Really, what
That
part?
just that it was just kind of like generic. Like there wasn't really a lot of creativity. I saw that on Metacritic. I really liked it. I think sometimes like the expressions weren't the best I've seen. There are some games that are just 100 out of 100, 10 out of 10. Like you can't beat it. But it didn't have any like weird funky teeth. that I noticed either. So
Nope,
I
no weird
feel
teeth.
like. What'd you say, Keith?
I said, nope, no weird teeth.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
yeah. So I feel like they did really good with the graphics. I've nothing to really like write home about, but I'm happy with them.
But the thing I really want to talk about is the music.
Yes, I am so grateful that you told me about the radio.
Yeah, the music in this game is a lot of fun. So this is from Obsidian. If you've played one of Obsidian's most popular games is Fallout New Vegas, which I remember they said they made a joke about it. They're like, every time we come with a new game, people just harass us. When are we coming with Fallout New Vegas 2? But the thing about Fallout is anytime you walk through the wasteland, it would pop up, hey, you're in a range of a new radio station. So they brought that back for Outer Worlds 2. As you're kind of traveling, you'll see, oh, wireless station appeared. And you can play the radio. And the radios are obviously very distinct to each of the corporations or factions you're playing against. So the Protector people, as I said, are these military, authoritarian, like, you know, we all got to work together for the greater good. So all their music is very much just like singing about that. Make sure you work really hard. If your neighbors are slacking, report them for mental refreshment. They also had like a radio TV show called The Red Cloak, which was always super funny. Her trying to fight capitalism, and she gets captured, and they're like, "Oh, will she succumb to capitalism? Of course not, because she has the strength of the sovereigns." It's always super brainwashing. It's so funny, but the songs were super catchy. My favorite was the Grand Plans radio, which I said they're the monks that can like solve the universe via math. So all their songs are usually about math and science. Like there's literally a song of them singing about the Fibonacci sequence, and it's like, who thought of this? It's super catchy and clever, which it is on Spotify. So if you want to check it out, highly recommend it.
Oh, that actually might be worth a listen because I was listening to it and it took me a minute to like kind of click together what you were saying about the music. It's like, what am I missing? I was like, I know I hear the radios around, but I'm not going to stop and just sit and listen to these radios. So I wasn't doing that. And I saw that the radio stations were there, but I just didn't go listen to them. Is
it from our Discord when we were talking about the Grammys? And I said, like,
yeah,
this music's amazing. I had a feeling because you weren't agreeing with me. And I was like, I'm guessing Keith hasn't found the radio.
Yeah, I still haven't gone through all of them, and I haven't gotten through all of the areas. The one that was cracking me up, though, was the one that didn't, at least I don't think it played music. It was just, they were just like telling like science stories about like the color of space and stuff like that. It was, I don't remember which one that one was.
It was probably the Grand Plan radio.
Maybe
because they did another one about talking
a
documentary about Purpleberry Crunch.
Yeah, but I don't remember there being any songs that came on while I was listening to it. The Auntie's Choice one was cracking me up though.
Yeah,
they had the song, the laissez-faire song about capitalism.
No, my favorite one was them talking about it was like a comatose like sleeping aid, and they were singing about the side effects.
Just ads.
It's like childhood rickets, gout, insomnia. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah, there was that one. There was one about like having like diarrhea or whatever. Like
yeah,
the Auntie's Choice ones were just wild, and they had a very like it makes sense. Like it has like this weird Fallout feel to it, where it's this like I don't know if there's like a term for it that I feel like it falls under one of those like steampunk, frostpunk, like something punk.
Atomic or nuclear punk is what it's known as. Or
is it? Yeah. I was gonna say where everything's very old timey, like 1950s, but also very futuristic.
Yeah,
and it kind of walks that balance. It's kind of weird, but yeah, the Auntie's Choice seems to really lean into that with the music choice, but the comedy in that was great.
It's crazy how much work went into it.
Yeah,
like creating the lyrics and the ads, and like, you know, it's not just a game with dialogue and a story. It's like that's a lot.
Like I was playing this at work, like through xCloud, which this game works very well in xCloud. You can save just about anywhere, and it also autosaves very well. But I kept noticing, I kept humming some of the songs, and it's just like, man, these are super catchy songs. Granted, they're not crazy well written. Like when you look at the lyrics, they're not very deep, but just the tune of it, how it's done, and like as I'm playing the game, like I said, the Fibonacci one, I was just like, this is super catchy. Yeah, I love the radio.
They're not deep, but they're smart in that aspect. Because like you said, like who would have thought like I can write a catchy little tune about the Fibonacci sequence, about laissez-faire capitalism, about sequence of pi, like
Yeah, love
this
does
is
not compute.
nonsense. Yeah, but they did it, and they do it in a way that it's, I don't know, it flows really well, and it's good music. It's and it we've been saying it, I think, I don't know, since April or whenever at least we started playing, I think South of Midnight, at least whenever that was. And it's like this year of music, this one on a lot of years, I would be like probably would be a contention for like maybe my favorite music in a game for the year.
Yeah,
This is an honorable mention, but like a very good honorable mention probably.
yeah. It's just very clever. Like that's
Yeah.
just where it goes. It's clever.
Which I had never heard of what is it, Fibonacci?
Yeah.
You explained it to me. Like I know now, but I had never heard of that.
You never learned it in school?
No, I don't think so.
You must have. I feel like it's the most common.
It's one of those things that doesn't, I and speaking for myself, like I I know it, I know it's a thing, and I know I learned about it. Off the top of my head, I would never remember what it is. I'm like, oh, I know it's like a math thing, but
It rang no bells for me.
fair.
I can't find an easy picture for it. But
Spiral.
anyway, if you know math, it's a relatively simple math sequence. But yeah, the voice acting too, I thought was really good. I saw some people complain that they felt like the voices didn't match the character models. I thought it was fine. I will say I like the voice acting in it to me, like the voice actors themselves, I think really helped hit the humor. Like you posted a picture on our Discord, Keith, of one of the guys. He's like a side quest of anytime I think I'm having a bad day, I just think I'll go to sleep. It'll probably be worse tomorrow. Like there's like these simple things, but like the voice acting, the actors themselves like did a very good job with the delivery. And I thought like a lot of these jokes really kind of cracked me up with it.
Well, that one was great too because it's just like such a passing comment. It's one of those like
Yeah.
they're not even in dialogue with you. They're just talking to you as you walk by, and you're like, wait, what? Like that was my favorite. Those were my favorite moments about it. Like I have so many different screenshots of just funny things that like people would say, or I would have the opportunity to say. Like at one point I told someone to punch somebody's hat off. At one point though, Liz had mentioned something about the responses, and I felt like those were sometimes hit or miss. And I know I'm kind of jumping back to some, I don't know, one of the earlier sections. Some of them are really funny and like fitting, and then some of them were just didn't seem to fit. Like I got the psychopath trait. I was like, oh, this will be kind of fun. And naturally, when you use that, people would immediately get like very like cautious or like scared, whatever. But they were some of my most tame responses, honestly. Like one of them was like, yeah, I'll just go collect the bodies. And I was like, that's nothing compared to what I've been saying. Like I literally told somebody I was deranged at one point. It's like, they did nothing about that. So those little inconsistencies were kind of weird, but I don't know.
Sometimes the people would just be like, I don't believe you, or that's a weird thing to say. Just like completely gloss over what I just said. Where I'm literally like, yeah, because I had the psychopath trait. I think one time I literally said like, oh, I'm going to rip their entrails out. And it's just like, okay, that's weird. Anyway, and it's like, a guy just admitted to you that he was going to massacre people. But okay, I guess we're moving on to that. But yeah, the achievements though, the achievements are a bit of a work. I will say, there was an achievement though I saw to get rid of all your companions, literally like end the game with 0 companions, which is funny. Anytime I talk to the companions, did you ever see there was an option to basically kick them off the ship? And they always kind of made me laugh of like, so Ina's like quit Auntie's choice. And I think one of the like options they had was like, hey, you know how you got fired? Well, you're also fired from here too. Go back home. And like, you literally could just go up to people and kick them off the ship just like that. So I was like, I actually might do that later in the game just to clear everyone out, just kick them all home.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to a point other than that, but if I read that achievement, it almost sounds like they have to either die or choose to leave. So I think
Yeah.
so which is even better. You can't just be like, nah, leave. You have to that means there's a
You have to
point
piss 'em off.
somewhere in the game, maybe multiple, where you have the option to just let them go or die, and you have to just say yes to every single person.
Which
including
I
your
thought was going to
robot, I
happen to
assume.
me. Like I said, I was at a hostage situation, Literally, people were about to get like crushed in a press, and I had Aza and Marisol. Marisol is like this older lady. Which did you get her?
I didn't.
She's straight up Anna from Overwatch. Literally,
Oh,
I
okay.
was curious if it was the same voice actress too, but like it's kind of the same character model, same kind of like story, and it's just like, okay, this is just Anna from Overwatch. But yeah, literally, I had that option. I asked him like, "Oh, what do you guys think?" And of course, I had the psycho lady. And she's like, if they die, they die. And then same with the other lady, the older lady, Marisol. She's like, "Well, we really need to stop this over like this evil plot. So, unfortunately, it's probably for the greater good that we ignore them." So I was like, "Okay, I guess these people are going to be upset that I'm going to ignore people as they get killed." So I thought that was going to be a situation where I was going to get in trouble, but no.
I
And,
didn't.
well,
No, oh, sorry. Go ahead, kid.
oh, I was just thinking about it. Like one of the other things that I thought was kind of neat, and I don't know how much it would overall impact the game, but who you had with you would at least slightly impact dialogue and how people would treat you in situations. Because I had Aza, and it was right after I had discovered her. I was in, I don't know, I was in an area, I think it was a protectorate area or something, that they didn't like her group. And they're just, every time that she would show up, they would have some comment about her being
Yeah.
along with me. And so you'd have to defend her or just be like, yeah, whatever.
But yeah, the achievements overall though are fine. There's a lot of story-driven ones. I probably wouldn't recommend it for achievement hunters, but there wasn't anything too crazy. Or there were achievements were there.
I didn't notice any popping up, and so I
Yeah.
actually forgot to look them up. So I just quickly did it, and it's because I only had 30 out of 1,000 gamer score with 2 achievements. Keith 105 with 6 achievements, and Andrew, you only got 150 with 7.
Yeah,
I thought you put in a lot of time.
I did put a good amount of time, and yeah, they just weren't popping up. Ooh, I just pulled up my Xbox. Winterboro just hit Game Pass.
So interestingly enough, Andrew,
What?
I just pulled it up, and I
That is
only
interesting.
only in particular for Marisol. Wicked catalog of games she's worked on: Elder Scrolls, Hades 2, Pacific Drive, Throne and Liberty. Not Overwatch, however, she's done Smite, and what was the other one? Paladins, Sea Queen
Oh.
Sati. So yeah, close enough. But yeah, quite a collection.
Oh yeah, here's the achievement: have every living companion die or abandon you for good.
Oh, so
Yeah,
Val
so you
could
were
be
right.
fine
They
then,
did
I
have to
think, 'cause-
die.
So yeah, Val would be fine because Val's not. There is Val living.
I'm assuming Val could ditch you though. Collect 5 pets for your ship. I did not realize you could collect pets.
Yeah, I haven't found any pets.
But yeah, there are a handful of specific achievements to do a thing. Kill 5 enemies by stomping on them after hitting them with a shrink ray. There's like shoot 3 grenades in the air. But I don't know, a good amount of them are just kind of playing the game. But yeah, so let's get to our final thoughts here, because my back is hurting. It's not easy being chivalrous. I gave Liz the
I
comfy
was just
chair.
gonna say you're so nice.
I'm sitting in this wooden hard chair. Liz looks like she's fallen asleep in my nice, cozy, lazy boy chair.
I am falling asleep. I got my
Good for
cozy
you,
back
Liz.
row.
Enjoy it.
Oh dear.
But anyway, as far as so getting into my final thoughts here on Outer Worlds 2, I thought Outer Worlds 2 was a drastic step forward from the first Outer Worlds. Still had some issues with it. I didn't. The campaigns were as compelling. The overall story still felt relatively generic, but the writing in it was good. I was chuckling quite a bit on just basic dialogue. The gunplay was way better. I thought this game had a lot more fun outcomes when it comes to like what you're building and like how you could solve your problems, how you could like either sneak into a place or blow everyone up. Like I said, I recommend kind of playing how I did, of just pick what kind of character you want to play as and just kind of go with what you think they would do morally, because everything in this universe is just very gray. So it's like, you know what, let's just have fun with this. So I was having a blast with this. It was pretty easy to pick up and put down. It did have some moments of excessive dialogue. I mean, every RPG is like this. I remember when I landed Planetside and you go to the first town, it's like, I'm going to spend 2 hours in here talking to everyone, collecting all these side quests, figuring out what to go, what to do. So some of that got a little frustrating. Oh, we didn't even talk about this game gives you double jump too. I did not realize how
Oh,
much
that is
double
nice.
jump
Oh my god.
was going to change this game. Yeah.
I was bouncing everywhere.
Yes, as soon as as soon as I got it, I was like, "This is great. This feels awesome." So thank you. We always talked about how like every game would improve with a grappling hook, but if you can't do a grappling hook, give me double jump. And yeah, so it definitely made there was a lot more platforming in this game, which was really cool. But yeah, I think I think I still landed at what I gave the first Outer Worlds, which is I'm landing at an 88.
Yeah, I again, maybe part of my enjoyment of Outer Worlds 2 was my kind of expected not enjoyment, my kind of low outcome of the first game and low expectations here. But I had a ton of fun. I've had a ton of fun. I intend to continue having fun with Outer Worlds 2. Like,
Not
as a
me.
matter of
I'm
fact.
now going to have not fun playing
Yeah,
it.
for everything else here, and I was miserable. But yeah, there really wasn't a lot. I agree with Andrew a little bit, in terms of that opening sequence, but not having to roam in and out of load time buildings every time I wanted to talk to a different vendor or a different side quest that maybe I needed to go back to. I liked all of that, and I just really had a lot of fun with the skills. We didn't even like, not that it's like a huge talking point, but I like just the perk that like required me to essentially it forced me to balance all of my stats. Like if I
that
put
was a flaw.
any points, yeah, or yeah, it was a flaw actually. It was like I got extra skill points, but it required me to level up a stat to my highest level if I put any points into it. So it was like it was this weird balancing thing that I don't know. I was having a lot of fun with the different ways that I could play the game. That even though Andrew and I picked the exact same skills just about at the beginning of the game, just wildly different outcomes through and through with what we're doing. So it's just a lot of fun. I like it, and I'd give it an 89. Yeah, 89.
I think I'm gonna give it an 85. I feel like I want to go lower, but I also feel like I need to give it the benefit of the doubt. But I liked it. I actually really want to watch Andrew stream because I feel like it'd be hilarious. Like the shoot whenever it says shoot. So probably won't go back to it. At least right away. But knowing me, probably not. But I would love to watch Andrew stream. Looking at Metacritic for the Series X, 83 and 6.9, which is actually lower than what is currently there for the Outer Worlds 1.
Yeah, 6.9 is surprising.
Yeah, they're both lower. Honestly, I feel like people were a bit more critical.
Yeah.
And, well, obviously the numbers show that, Liz. Jeez. But our fourth and silent co-host is back.
Ooh. We haven't done him in a while.
Yeah, well, do you know what? He thinks that Obsidian is in a downward spiral. He thinks that the art was worse. The story was boring. He said that this was more woke. And then
What?
one of the pros he mentioned was like the third person view. He also didn't like that there weren't what was it? Like the French voice acting or
Oh,
translation.
no, French VO, yeah.
Yeah. But he didn't seem as angry. He was actually,
Do you still give it a 0?
no, he gave it a 2.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think
For
he's,
Outer Worlds 2.
I think he's enjoying video games more. Like there was no talk of turds. But I was actually I was really interested in what he had to say. So
Whoa. Man, I missed having you on this list. We forgot about doing Metacritic segment and look at this guy
our
up.
fourth and silent co-host is like, why haven't you guys been giving my reviews?
I think the last time I looked was Claire Obscure because I was like he had to have given this a good score. It's French. He absolutely crapped all over Claire Obscure too. So
Wow, and you
Really?
just gave up on him.
that guy makes no sense.
No, it
He's still
doesn't.
going though, because I remember looking then, and I'm sure you saw Liz. There's still like every day, and it's not just games, movies, TV. Like
Whoa.
he's got a catalog. It's impressive, and he hates everything. It's not just video games. It's so good.
Man. He's like more angry than Darkside Phil.
Yeah.
I feel like he must have like a social media where he talks about all the things.
I
that he
found his
hates.
Twitter a while ago.
Like he's on TikTok and he's just like, "Don't play this game."
Oh, that. This was before TikTok. I gotta go find him.
All right. But I guess we'll wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Like I said, go to GamePassGrabBag.com. Check out our website. See our past reviews. Top right corner, join our Discord, our YouTube. I've been trying to stream more. I've been playing Satisfactory, which a lot of people have been watching my streams on that and joining me. So thank you all who've been watching me play Satisfactory. I'll keep doing that because apparently people want that. But yeah, I'll be trying to stream more of the games up here because I always like having to try to play some of the footage I recorded here on the video. Thank you so much. I've been your Hardcore Gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. If you haven't yet, please make sure you give us a review on Spotify or give us a comment or something, or on our YouTube, or follow us on our YouTube. It's been a while. You know, we've just recently got a couple more reviews on our Spotify, but I always love hearing from people. Say hi to us. We love it.
I don't do outros anymore. I gave up on that. You know me. I'm really just saying that for Liz because Liz doesn't know that.
And I'm listening to Gamer. Yeah, like they start the music. Gamertag Comedy. I'm on Instagram. WZW.
Thank you, Liz, for joining us. We've missed having you.
Thanks, Liz.
I know this was a struggle for you.
And
This week.
thank you for taking the booger off the microphone for me.
Yes, our 6-year-old wiped a booger on the microphone. Yes, our 6-year-old wiped a booger on the microphone. We love you all. See you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.